Being in a calorie deficit is a complete lie. Welcome to Health Over Greed. Now, before we get started, just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Tyler Fastifier Clark, and I am the host of this channel. I have created a nutritional program to help you lose weight fast, regain your health, and keep you off the vicious yo-yo cycle forever, without ever counting calories, using magic supplements, or ever having to exercise if you don't want to. Now, my goal of this channel is to help you achieve your health and weight loss goals in the simplest way possible while becoming aware of all the lies we've been fed for decades that's keeping us fat, sick, and medicated. If this sounds like the right place for you, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell icon so you are notified every time I drop new content, which I will be doing every single day. Now, before we get started with this episode today, please remember this is for educational purposes only. This is not medical advice. Please consult your doctor. Okay, wait. Let me rephrase this. Please find a doctor whose main goal is to prevent or keep you off medications, not put you on them. And one who is researching outside of the ridiculous training box they get in medical school. Once you find that doctor, which isn't going to be easy, consult that doctor. All right, you ready? Let's dive in. You're not going to want to miss today's episode. I have never seen a subject that makes so many people so angry in my entire life in the world of health and weight loss. Now, I can also understand this because everything people have been told over the last 30 years is now being challenged. So real quick, I use TikTok to get out quick, short videos explaining a subject. And as soon as I ever talk about this certain subject, an explosion of anger, calling me more names than you could ever imagine, occurs. Now, sometimes I feel like the world I love to live in is fantasy land. You know, a world where we can share different ideas, concepts, without sending people off the deep end. This is the exact reason I knew I had to make this episode, because this isn't a subject you can just explain in a 60-second clip. Now, this is also such a heated topic that no matter how much I explain it, it still receives hate over and over again because these type of people cannot get out of their own worldview. But good thing that this content is not for them. It's for the beautiful people just like you who are open-minded and ready to hear the information that is being suppressed from us. Let's start from the very beginning. If you rewind over 50 years ago, right? Nobody was talking about calories, yet obesity rates were at extreme lows. Now, somehow in this world today, we now count calories and they are found on every label. We have the highest overweight and obesity rates in history. Now, these rates are a ton of different factors in one, right? But one thing I can tell you is calorie counting and calorie deficit are not the solutions in reversing this epidemic because it's extremely wrong. See, humans are funny. We base everything off of being known as common sense. If my body requires 2,000 calories, then all I need to do is restrict 500 calories to lose weight. It's a calorie in versus calorie out, right? Now, I'm going to be honest. This sounds good, and the math certainly sounds correct, and it's going to work out. But one question I do have is, why is it when people go into a calorie deficit, they lose weight quickly when they start, but over time, the weight loss slows down until it gets to a dead halt? Plateau, right? Weight loss plateau. With the common sense math, we are told it should just keep coming off, but this is actually never the case. So once we hit our plateau, we just simply cut more calories and the same cycle just keeps happening over and over again. Then the data shows us that most people give up because they are tired of feeling sluggish, cold, and starving. So not only do they gain their weight back, but they also gain even more weight back. Now, with that being said, why does this even happen if calorie deficit is the only answer? You should never plateau, right? Well, let me tell you something really quick. Weight loss industries, our government, and teachers treat our body like it's common sense and super easy to understand. But the truth is, our bodies are complicated machines that we do not have control over, period. And don't worry, I'm about to go into all of this. But first, let me kind of like ease the blame on everybody really quick. The only reason we think this way is because our entire education about health and weight loss was literally created by a politician named George McGovern back in the 1970s. Yeah, you heard that right. Let that process real quick. Our entire education system around health was based from a group of politicians this guy created together from our government. Isn't that unreal? Let that sink in. That's unreal. And to be honest, are you ready for this? If you ever want to jump into a rabbit hole, check out how two of the richest families in the entire world, their names are the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, how they set up our entire education around our health and pharmaceutical companies. It's honestly, it's super scary. But anyway, let's really dive in and explain why the calorie deficit model simply does not work, period. Now, our bodies, they're complex machines that are regulated by hormones. You have absolutely no control over your body. For example, do you have conscious control of your heartbeat? What about your breathing? Sure, you can breathe harder, right? Or heavier. But when you are not thinking about it, it is still happening, right? Well, what about your blood flow? Or how about your brain function? So if you don't control any of these things, and I could go on and on, right? But if you don't control any of these things, what actually makes you believe that you have full control over weight loss? Doesn't that sound kind of comical? Because the answer is you really do not. You just don't. Your hormones are in complete control of these things. So let's start off with something that's pretty easy to understand because some of this can get pretty complex. We all know what a thermostat is, right? It's what keeps our homes at a certain temperature. Well, guess what? Our bodies have one as well. Now, it's regulated by our hormones. And this thermostat is called your body set weight. So for example, let me use myself, okay? If my body set weight is dialed in as 200 pounds, then my body is gonna constantly try to keep me there no matter what. Now, if I start eating 10 meals a day and I'm packing in the calories, my body will start to fight back and try to make me feel full and start doing other certain things to really stop me, right? But if I continue and I fight really hard, my body's set weight will move up slowly over time. Now, if I had to do this for a year, it could potentially reach a new body set weight at like 250 pounds. The same goes for if I'm trying to lose weight, but this is where things actually get really, really sticky. Now, if you're restricting your calories from your body needs, you will, lose weight quickly in the short term, but your body set weight won't budge. Don't you see that as a problem? Because it always wants to keep you there. So your hormones will then work against you and to do everything it can to bring your body weight back to your set weight. It's kind of like if your house is set at 70 degrees and it drops to 65, the house will warm itself back up to 70. Your body's doing the same thing with your weight. Now, the only way you can move your body set weight down slowly over time is by working with your hormones and not against them. One thing to understand is that your body has one purpose in life, and it never wants to die. Now, that's it. That's your body's life purpose and its goal. So to go under your body set weight tells your body it can go into survival mode, which it will do everything possible to prevent. Because remember, it doesn't want to die. So, okay, you might be sitting there probably still a little confused, right? I mean, this is tough to explain sometimes. Well, let me bring this home with an analogy that will make this all make sense to you, all right? First, I want you to think of our bodies as a city and that it's powered by a coal burning plant. Every day, this plant must burn 2,000 tons so it can keep up with the powering up the city, right? So every day the plant gets shipments of 2,000 tons a day, which for your body would mean the food in calories. That's how you're gonna look at the coal. So that the city can run at full capacity. Now, let's say something happens to the daily shipments and now they get cut down to 1,500 instead of the 2,000. Well, the demand of the city hasn't changed, but the load has. Now remember, now we're down to 1,500 calories for your body. Real quick question. Do you think the city can run the same with less coal to burn? No, absolutely not. Because if you keep burning the same 2,000 tons of coal a day, you will run out and your city will die. The power will go out. The city will go into chaos. There will be looting in the streets and everything will be destroyed. Same thing with your body. It would die as well. Now remember, our body's goal is to never die. So to tie that back to the city, the person in charge wouldn't want the power to go out. So what would they need to do to save it? What would you think the logical step would be? Well, it would be to turn down the energy consumption instead, right? Instead of running at 100% power, they are now going to turn it down to maybe 80% or 70%, then maybe even 50% depending on those shipments. This will help the power stay on, but the lights will be dimmer. The heat won't be as hot. The AC won't be as cold. But you know what? At least the city is surviving and it still has power. Same thing for your body. So if you tie this back to your body, what would less energy mean? Slower heart rate, right? Less hair growth, loss of hair, slower breathing, right? And body temperature may even decrease. You will actually start to feel colder and you'll start feeling hungrier, and it's just a big thing. So now as time goes by, the city is feeling pressure of demand to turn the power back on, which is the same in your body as your body starts making you feel hungry all the time, right? It's going crazy. It cannot allow you to be here. So now let's say that you give in and the city gives in. We all give in. And the shipments of coal has now increased back to 2,000 again. Well, it's still going to take time for your city to get back to 100% power. Why do you think this is? Why would it take more time if you just instantly start getting the same amount back? Well, guess what? Now the city or your body is now scared that this may happen again. So it needs to build up a storage first. So it'll start burning like 1,700 calories and storing 300 until it feels safe that this will never happen again. So this is the same with your body. Your body will be so scared it'll go back into survival mode that it'll start storing your food into fat as it starts raising back your energy levels slowly. This is exactly why people who calorie restrict regain their weight plus even more every single time. So now don't you see it yet? How are people going to teach us that our bodies are easy to understand with a simple formula of tracking our calories? Calories in, calories out, or simply go into a calorie deficit. All of this information is horrible, and it's not providing us with any solutions to helping people truly lose weight the right way and keeping it off forever. Instead, it's helping people lose weight in the short term, suffering during the process, and eventually just regaining it back in the long term. Being in a calorie deficit is the very definition of yo-yo dieting. Isn't that crazy? So, Tyler, how do I lose weight by not restricting my calories? Let's end the episode today on a bang and tell you exactly how you're going to do this. Because now that we know we have to move our body set weight down slowly by working with our hormones, it comes down to one simple thing. And that one simple thing is fasting. But let me give you a checklist really quick. First, you need to be eating natural, healthy foods. No processed junk. When you eat, you need to listen to your body. So when you're full, you stop. This way your body will be in balance and having your body running at 100% power. This also helps balance out your hormones as well to make sure that the signals you are receiving are correct. So if you're full, you know you're actually full. And if you're hungry, you know you're actually hungry. Then I need you to implement the most key thing of all time, intermittent fasting. You're going to be tipping the scales. I personally recommend 18 hours is a perfect spot. This will give you a 6-hour feeding window, but you'll have 18 hours so your body is burning through the food that you have consumed, getting into your body fat stores and burning that is energy as well. Now, this is another subject that will trigger individuals because they say fasting is a calorie deficit. But again, they're using that common sense logic that proved them wrong in this very episode. Your body must be always eating, whether it's outside food consumption or inside food consumption, it has to eat. Because remember, your body to survive needs to always be burning energy. So during your 18 hours of fasting, your body is going to be burning through your food that you consumed for energy, right? And then once it burns through all of that, your body still needs energy. So you will then convert from burning outside energy into inside energy, which is your body fat stores that we've been piling on over years. So as you can see, this is no calorie restriction, as your body will be burning through the right amount of calories that are stored for your body so that we're always at 100% power. This is exactly how you move down your body set weight slowly so you can keep it off forever. So in short, let's break this down real quick to make it even simpler. Fast 18 hours daily, eat only 2 meals with no snacking in between, and watch your weight come off while never coming back again. So exciting. I hope you learned so much in this episode. But let's leave you on one last point. You're going to hear this from your friends, your family, and all these crazies out there that want to hate. They're going to say that, oh, you must not have heard of thermodynamics. You've been debunked. Well, thermodynamics is a law of physics that has a minimal relevance to the human biology for the simple reason that the human body is not an isolated system. Energy is constantly entering and leaving. In fact, the very act we are most concerned about, eating, puts energy in our system. Food energy also excreted from the system in form of a stool, which, to make sense of all of this, the first law of thermodynamics says that energy can neither be created or destroyed in an isolated system. Weird. Debunked. All right, if you love this episode today and it brought you a ton of value, make sure to like it, share it to all of your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe. Because you know, one of my biggest goals is to always give out all my information completely free so you can reach your health and weight loss goals without ever having to spend a dime. Our health should never be complicated or expensive. Ever. So with that said, I have created multiple free ebooks that were designed to accomplish just that. Not only will they include a free book, but I also threw in a video of me breaking it down complete detail while sharing my best tips, hacks, and practices. Or if you don't want to do this alone, here's what I would recommend for you. If you want my direct help right from me, then I would say consider joining my 30-day keto challenge. That's where I get to make my biggest impact with you. For 30 days, as you are a part of an amazing community of fastifiers who are on the same path as you that are going to support you the entire way. But honestly, guys, I only want you to consider the challenge if you're serious about hitting your goals. I only want people who are committed to change and joining a movement that is so much bigger than themselves. Because if that's not you, I would much rather you just go through the free material, because I'm telling you, the challenge will change your life. So you can either grab your free books right now, or you can join the 30-day keto challenge by clicking on the link in the description or simply going to www.fastify.com.